Most men hesitate to openly discuss a very real problem, even though it crosses their minds constantly. As the years pass, there's this quiet acceptance that the physical thrill and intensity once taken for granted has somehow faded away. But what if that wasn't true? What if the passion, power, and pleasure that seemed lost with youth wasn't gone at all? What if it was simply waiting to be unlocked in the simplest way? Imagine discovering that something as ordinary as what you put on your breakfast plate could reignite sensations you thought were long behind you. A practicing urologist for over a decade, and I've had thousands of intimate conversations with men on this very subject. Again and again, I've heard men tell me that their climaxes feel muted, distant, or barely there. Most shrug it off, assuming it's just one of those unavoidable signs of getting older. But let me be perfectly clear, that assumption is wrong. You don't have to surrender to mediocrity in your intimate life just because another birthday has passed. Today, I want to walk you through the science and the story behind one particular food that has an extraordinary impact on men over 50. And no, this isn't about simply staying firm or lasting longer, though you may notice improvements there too. What we're really focusing on is sensation, the deep, whole-body pulse-racing intensity that transforms intimacy into something unforgettable. Because when that fire dies down, it doesn't just affect the bedroom, it ripples outward, touching confidence, relationships, and even the way a man feels about himself. About 5 years ago, a patient, let's call him Jim, walked into my office for a regular checkup. Jim was 62, healthy overall, but he confided something unusual during our conversation. He told me about a trip to Brazil where for 3 weeks everything changed. He felt alive again, vibrant, almost like he had stepped back in time 30 years. But just days after returning home, that newfound vigor evaporated. Most doctors might have chalked it up to a simple vacation effect, more rest, fewer worries, maybe a break from work, but something about his story struck me, and I wanted to know more. What was really different about his time abroad? So I asked him, what had he been eating? That's when he mentioned it. Every morning at the hotel, he ate fresh papaya drizzled with lime juice. He had never been a papaya eater before, but it became part of his routine while he was there. That tiny detail sent me down a research path that completely transformed how I approach this problem in my patients. You see, papaya isn't just some exotic fruit to enjoy on a tropical vacation. It's brimming with compounds that directly target the very issues that weaken pleasure and sensation as men age. And what the research shows is nothing short of remarkable, though strangely very few people are making the connection. Let me explain exactly what makes this fruit so extraordinary. First, papaya is abundant in a natural enzyme called papain. This enzyme has a unique effect on blood circulation. As we grow older, blood tends to become thicker and flow less freely, in part due to proteins like fibrin that make it sluggish. Papain helps break down those proteins, essentially cleaning out the pathways and allowing blood to move more smoothly. Imagine a clogged drain suddenly running clear. That's what it does for your vessels. A single medium papaya contains about 200 milligrams of papain, and studies suggest that this can boost circulation by as much as 35% within just 2 hours of eating it. Now think about where that additional rush of blood goes when you're aroused. Exactly the place where it counts the most. But that's only the beginning. Papaya is also loaded with arginine, an amino acid your body turns into nitric oxide. If you've heard of medications like Viagra, you already know nitric oxide is the master molecule responsible for relaxing and opening blood vessels so blood can flood in. Instead of forcing the process with a pill, papaya delivers the raw material for your body to produce it naturally. To put it in perspective, one papaya contains around 500 milligrams of arginine, more than many supplements marketed specifically for circulation. Now here's where things get especially relevant to sensation. Papaya happens to be an exceptional source of vitamin C. In fact, one fruit provides roughly double the daily amount you need. Vitamin C isn't just about immunity, it's crucial for healthy nerves. It strengthens the ability of nerves to send fast, strong signals, which is essential when it comes to physical pleasure. Studies have shown that sufficient vitamin C can increase the speed and strength of nerve transmission by about 20%. That means the signals traveling from your body to your brain during intimacy arrive louder, clearer, and more powerful. But papaya doesn't stop there. It's also rich in carotenoids like lycopene and beta-carotene, compounds that your body stores in reproductive tissues, particularly the prostate and testicles. Research from Harvard revealed that men with higher lycopene levels not only had better overall sexual function but also reported more pleasurable orgasms. This isn't speculation, it's backed by solid evidence. Meanwhile, papania itself has another trick. It reduces inflammation, especially in the pelvic area, acts like static on a radio, distorting and dulling the sensations you should be feeling. Lower inflammation means cleaner, sharper, more intense feedback from your body. And there's more. Arginine, besides producing nitric oxide, is also a precursor for compounds called sparmidine and sparmine. These molecules are intimately tied to the contractions and intensity of climax. Higher levels correspond with orgasms that last longer and feel stronger. Put all of this together, and you start to understand why my patient Jim felt like a new man in Brazil. What's fascinating is that Brazilians have quietly known about this for generations. In their culture, papaya isn't just breakfast, it's considered a natural vitality booster. They even have a saying that translates to papaya in the morning, strength all day. And here's another brilliant detail. They don't just eat it plain, they always squeeze lime over it. While it may seem like just a culinary preference, there's science behind it. The citric acid in lime enhances the absorption of papaya's nutrients by up to it helps break down the fruit's structure, freeing more of its active compounds. In other words, Brazilians unknowingly perfected the recipe centuries ago. Once I began recommending this exact combination, ripe papaya with fresh lime, eaten on an empty stomach to my patients, the results spoke for themselves. Men who had spent years feeling frustrated or disappointed suddenly rediscovered the kind of sensations they hadn't felt since their 20s or 30s. And we're not just talking about better erections or staying power. What they described was that all-encompassing, overwhelming wave of pleasure that makes intimacy feel magical. Of course, not every papaya will give you these benefits. Choosing the right fruit and eating it properly matters. You need a ripe papaya, not green and not mushy. It should be a rich golden orange with a slight softness when pressed, giving off a sweet aroma. The enzymes are at their most active at this stage. Green papayas are fantastic for digestion, but they won't deliver the results we're focusing on here. My usual recommendation is half a medium papaya each morning, which works out to about 150 to 200 grams. Always pair it with fresh squeezed lime, not bottled juice. And timing is key. Have it on an empty stomach, ideally 30 to 45 minutes before any other food. This allows your body to fully absorb and utilize the compounds without competing with proteins or fats from other meals. If you're planning intimacy, eat it a couple of hours beforehand. That's when the effects on blood flow and nitric oxide production are at their peak. Consistency is the real secret. While you may notice some immediate improvements, the most profound results come after 2 or 3 weeks of daily consumption. Your body needs time to repair nerve function, clear inflammation, and optimize circulation. Some men ask if they can skip the fruit and just take pepinane or arginine supplements. Technically, yes, but you'd be missing the full spectrum of synergistic benefits like the vitamin C, lycopene, and fiber that all work together to create the complete effect. Think of it like listening to just one instrument instead of the entire orchestra. Now, I understand not everyone enjoys the taste of papaya. It's a unique flavor, and it can take time to appreciate, but don't give up too quickly. Adding lime already improves the taste significantly. You can also experiment with chili powder sprinkled on top, which creates a surprisingly delicious combination, or blend it into a smoothie with coconut water and ginger. The health benefits are worth the effort to find a preparation you like. There are also supporting foods that complement papaya beautifully. Watermelon is one of them. It's rich in citrulline, another amino acid that your body converts into arginine often more effectively than arginine itself. Adding a cup of watermelon chunks to your papaya supercharges nitric oxide production. Pumpkin seeds are another ally. They're packed with zinc, essential for testosterone production and orgasm intensity. Just a handful a day provides nearly your full daily requirement. Dark chocolate, the real kind with 70% cacao or higher, boosts dopamine and serotonin, the brain's pleasure chemicals. Eating a small square an hour after your papaya sets the stage for heightened enjoyment. And believe it or not, beets are also part of the picture. Their natural nitrates expand blood vessels through a different pathway than arginine, giving you yet another boost to nitric oxide levels. That said, there are common mistakes men make when trying this method. Some expect miracles within a couple of days and get discouraged. Remember, this isn't an instant pharmaceutical fix, it's nutritional therapy. Your body needs at least 2 weeks of consistent effort to reset and improve. Others eat unripe fruit or too much at once. Too much papaya can cause digestive upset, so stick with half a medium fruit daily. Eating it immediately after a heavy meal also limits its effectiveness, as the enzymes get tied up digesting food instead of working systemically. There's also a psychological component here. Many men try this in secret, hoping their partner will notice without explanation. But when you involve your partner sharing the fruit together in the morning, framing it as part of a health and wellness journey, the impact multiplies. Not only do partners often notice improvements before the men themselves, but the fruit also benefits women in similar ways. Improved circulation, reduced inflammation, and enhanced nerve function apply to both sexes. Couples who embrace this together often describe a renewal of intimacy that feels fresh and exciting for both sides. Interestingly, men who adopt this habit often report side benefits they weren't even seeking. Digestive comfort improves significantly thanks to papain's role as a digestive enzyme. Chronic bloating and discomfort often disappear. Energy levels rise as circulation improves and inflammation decreases, leading to fewer afternoon slumps and more stamina throughout the day. Prostate health benefits as well. Lycopene accumulates in the prostate and helps reduce swelling, often easing urinary symptoms. Many men even notice fewer nightly bathroom trips. Skin looks healthier and younger, thanks to vitamin C and antioxidants boosting collagen and reducing oxidative damage. Wives often comment that their husbands appear to be glowing, as if they've discovered a new skincare regimen. Joint pain lessens too because the anti-inflammatory properties act throughout the body. In some cases, patients have even canceled planned surgeries after months of daily papaya because their pain improved so dramatically. The longer men stick with it, the more the benefits stack up. After 6 months, most feel better than they did after 3. A year in, they can't imagine life without it. That's why I encourage patients to make papaya part of their lifestyle, not just a temporary experiment. There are ways to keep it sustainable: prepare portions in advance, keep frozen chunks on hand for smoothies when fresh fruit isn't available, or rely on dried papaya or supplements while traveling. Tropical destinations often offer ripe papaya at affordable prices, so vacations become an opportunity to stay consistent. If you live in the right climate, growing your own tree is surprisingly simple and rewarding. Even in cooler regions, dwarf papaya trees can thrive in pots that are brought indoors for the winter. Here's the bottom line: your body is fully capable of extraordinary pleasure well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The machinery doesn't simply break down, it just needs the right fuel and support. Papaya delivers that in a way no pill or artificial supplement can. This isn't about clinging to lost youth, it's about optimizing the man you are right now, with the body you have today. It's about refusing to settle for a diminished version of one of life's most profound joys. So here's my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, go buy a papaya and a couple of fresh limes. For the next 30 days, make half a papaya with lime your morning ritual, eaten on an empty stomach. Keep track of the changes you feel: your energy, your digestion, your confidence, and yes, the intensity of your orgasms. I'm confident you'll be astonished by the transformation, and when you realize how much better life can feel, not just in the bedroom, but in every aspect of your health, you'll understand why I say this simple fruit has the power to change everything. Your body is resilient, adaptable, and capable of incredible renewal. Sometimes all it takes is the right piece of fruit to prove it.